This evening, I witnessed a shocking game of football from Chelsea Football Club, a really poor performance, one of which is not unfamiliar at the moment. We have been putting in poor performance after poor performance, and this was another one. Thomas Tuchel picked a side that I thought would potentially take a different approach to this game, different mentality, different tournament, different competition. We've been struggling domestically. I thought this would be an example, a changing of the sails, something different, a transition. At least maybe in this competition where there's a different kind of pressure, we might churn out a different kind of performance. Oh, how wrong I was. An abysmal performance from Chelsea, absolutely void of ideas, toothless in front of goal. What were we doing with all this possession? 69% possession, I believe it was, in the first half. Second half, very similar to that. Nothing. Absolutely spineless performance. Yeah, there's a few players there that are trying to put a shift in. I really saw the big hole that Loftus-Cheek has been filling in this team with his performances so far this season. Loftus-Cheek has been one of the hardest workers in this Chelsea squad so far. And you look at that game and you just see how big a presence Ruben Loftus-Cheek is all of a sudden. Because this is Loftus-Cheek, I'm a big fan, is supposed to be a squad player and supposed to be a player who is going to, potentially cover for some of the big guns when they're out. Your Kovacic's, your Jorginho's, your Kante's, or maybe play higher up the field. What I've seen from Loftus-Cheek so far this season is aggression, just trying and trying to give the best performance possible. And when I watch this game tonight, I think, is that really what this team has come to? Is that the level we're at the moment? No one is even willing to put in a performance. No one is even willing to try. Where is the intensity? This Chelsea team is in the mud at the moment. And, I like to look at things overall before I dissect, because you can tactically look at what went wrong. You can judge player for player. And sometimes that can be the case. But it's something in the water, isn't it? It's not clear cut. There's a tone, a mood, a vibe in that Chelsea camp at the moment that is reflecting these performances, because it doesn't make sense. Like Bodie has taken over. We've gotten all this cash injections. We've spent money, new signings, quality players have come in, and I think they've come into a team that looked like it was stable, looked like it was a high-performing team, a team with real quality already, and they were adding to that quality. And now, I'm not sure. I feel like there's a disconnect between the existing players and all these players we've brought in. I feel like the new players that are coming in are like, what's happened? Like, what's the game plan here? What do you guys do? And some of the players that have been there the past few seasons are discontent. There's something not right. I look at Mason Mount at the moment and something is not right. I've never seen poor performances from Mason Mount, passenger performances from Mason Mount. Mason Mount is always, no matter what, if Chelsea play badly, 9 times out of 10 he's the best player on our team. He was the one who got us out of the mud many times. He was the bright spark, and his leadership was vital, and there's something not right with him at the moment. He started the season badly, and it pains me to say that. No one's a bigger fan of Mason Mount than me. Trust me, I put him over Foden. But so far, at the moment, it's tough. It's tough to say that. I'm not sure I can go out and stick my neck out based on the performances this season. Anyways, let's talk about the goal. 13th minute. I don't remember the guy's name. Fantastic goal. Chelsea, all the possession. They hit us on the break. Fofana and Koulibaly, there's a mix-up about who should be winning the duel, who should be staying goal side, and they both go to attack the ball. They both miss the ball. lovely flick on. Their forward is in on goal with a lot to do. He's still got the whole half a pitch to cover. Fofana chasing back, and you look at Fofana and you think, he can catch him. He could catch him. He could put in a sliding tackle there. He doesn't. He waits. He tries to stick with him. And the striker does a very clever thing. Just aggression, brutal, puts his hand there as soon as he feels Fofana coming to apply pressure, knocks Fofana back a touch, and then just studs it over. And it's a fantastic striker's finish. Glorious goal. Really, really well taken goal. Had a lot to do, and that goal was very impressive. We go 1-0 down, and as always, we have no plan B. I feel like the game plan before each game is about scoring first, scoring a second, maintaining, holding possession to not concede anymore, but there is no plan for going 1-0 down. I am losing all faith in us getting even a point from the game if we concede a goal. You see Man City, they go 2 goals down. I feel like they could go 3 goals down, and you just know that they are going to still somehow get a result. And we are not looking a team capable of even pulling one back for a draw at this point. And there's something really, really wrong with that. 1-0 down is not game over. 1-0 down in the 90th minute with stoppage time, perhaps. But even still, it's not game over. All this possession, all of this it's just passenger performances. And I just don't know what the reason is. We've got a fantastic squad on paper, but you put these players on at the moment, and it is just looking very, very average. No one is playing to their abilities, attributes are not being shown, and we are just looking a team completely incoherent, completely disorganised. A start for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. The game came probably too soon for him. He actually was afforded some great through balls, and he was almost surprised that they came to him. He didn't really fancy playing in this game, and I can't blame him. He's just gone through quite an ordeal, and he's changed from Barcelona back to London, and he's been thrown in Champions League game, days after his arrival. And I understand why Tuchel wanted to start him and play him and get his campaign underway, because he clearly values him as a player, clearly sees Aubameyang as maybe a part-time solution to our forward problem at the moment. But you'd have to say it didn't work. In hindsight, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang was way off it today. Absolutely. Looked slow, just didn't look in the game. The link up with all the other Chelsea players was absent, and he just looked like he did not feel like he was ready to play today, because he was actually gifted some pretty good opportunities, which you would consider Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to take. He squares it to Sterling when he probably could have shot and scored himself. Sterling had a lot to do, and it just wasn't the performance, the debut Chelsea performance we were looking for from Aubameyang. But I won't get too frustrated about that, because I think there are performances to come from him, but that wasn't an inspiring one. But it's not that. It's this whole Chelsea squad at the moment. Nobody's playing well. Nobody is playing well, bar maybe Reece James and Loftus-Cheek, as I said earlier. It's just so average, Your Mason Mounts, even Ben Chilwell today. I've been really harping on about Ben Chilwell starting ahead of Cucurella. And is it that we're constantly changing? Players don't know if they're playing yet. They don't know if they're the manager's favourite. There's a disconnect here. They don't seem to feel like they can play for the manager yet, because they don't know if the manager fancies them. Probably because Tuchel has already made his mind up about certain players. So when he chops and changes everyone, no one really feels enthused to come on, and that is clear as day with Hakim Ziyech. Goodness me, comes on. The attitude on his face just said it all. Literally, the look on his face reflected his whole performance. Like, just frustrated, not happy to be there, not happy to play for the shirt, just trying anything, like complete lack of diligence or just no intensity in that Ziyech performance. And you think a manager has brought you on to change the game and you put in a performance like that. Woeful. Absolutely woeful. Aubameyang comes off, Broja comes on. Broja probably should have started the game. Broja deserves to start. When is he going to start? When is he going to get a 90 minutes? It's just, there's too much chopping and changing. Players are not comfortable, probably because they don't know if they are in this starting 11, when they've seen new arrivals, when they've seen new pieces to the puzzle. And I don't think Tuchel knows himself. But there's something off. And I'm sure this game is going to put even more pressure on Thomas Tuchel. I think Thomas Tuchel is a fantastic manager. Absolutely. There are not many better managers out there in world football at the moment. I believe that. But there's something wrong with the man management. The players, there's some real discontentment amongst this Chelsea team. And we got to get it fixed quick. Maybe we need some harmony amongst that dressing room at the moment, because we are dropping points thick and fast, and there will be a point where we will not be able to make them back, and our opponents will have covered a lot more ground than us, and the gaps won't be able to close them. So Chelsea need to get it together. Absolutely shocking performance. 1-0 down after 13 minutes, and for 77 minutes, that is what we do. Possession. Toothless. Absolutely toothless from Tuchel. Toothless from the Chelsea players. Not the result we wanted, but now I think everything is... I mean, I've already had a pessimistic outlook, I think, from the Leeds and the Southampton games. For me, after that, I said, this is not our season. We're going to be we're starting way too slow, and I can't see the problem being fixed in 1 game, 2 games, 3 games. This is going to take potentially half a season, even more. I don't know. I've got a really, really bad, not a lot of faith in us turning this around quickly. And is Tuchel going to pay the price for that? I'm not sure, but I just don't know. It's a weird one. It's a really poor performance again. Chelsea are in the mud, and we need to get ourselves out ASAP. Guys, see you in the next video, hopefully with some answers and a different perspective, but this is becoming all too familiar and is very disappointing. See you in the next video, guys.